Located in our hidden warrens far beneath the city, WRAT's squad of intrepid reporters infest the city, unseen and unlooked for. Combined with the magic of video, we are the eyes and ears of this metropolis. And we're here 24/365 for you.
Following the spectacular finale of the Maulers match this afternoon at Causeway Stadium, the crowds have been pouring from the exits in a state of mass confusion. Citycams 275 and 276 give a clear view of the mayhem, as jubilant fans spill out into the parking structures and find the entire zone locked down. With the downtown a no-fly area and military enforcement on site to keep all hovers on the ground, there are few options. Most have made for the subway, trying to get out of the winds. Of course, this means the subway station and tunnels, for hundreds of meters in either direction, are now just a seething mass of humanity. Somewhere in that chaos is Clarice Porter, and she's on the line with me now. Where are you, Clarice?
Special privileges apply to the Maulers, Adam, especially with their big win today. I was caught up in the flow of humanity as it surged out of the stadium in ecstatic spirit. Heading for the subway was easy, but it quickly became evident that the system was no longer operating due to the Zulu 11 emergency measures. I begged off at the last minute. Not quite sure how bad it is down there now.
Citycam 280 is on the platform. It's a disaster waiting to happen down there. I hope the military takes charge, or lives will be lost.
The good news is, at least the fans are in a good mood. Imagine how this would go if the team had lost.
So, where did you go when you left the subway?
Fought my way against the current, back to the stadium. My reporter's badge got me in the door, and now I'm with the team. The Bombers are here as well. One big family of spikeball players. And we're doing crowd control.
You mean the teams are helping with crowd management?
They're wearing military helmets and carrying stun sticks. The soldiers carry surplus in their hovers. This way, the fans don't recognize who's giving the orders. But spikeball players are pretty intimidating close up. The crowds are not giving them any trouble.
Where are you directing the people, if not to the subway?
Those who aren't in the subway yet are not getting in. The access has been closed off. So we're setting up makeshift shelter areas in the base of the stadium itself. There must be 10 to 15,000 here. At least they're not out there in the open. It's getting pretty wild on the streets.
Any violence? Do you have people hurt or resisting orders?
A few just wanting to get into their hovers and give it a shot in the air. That idea just won't fly. I mean, literally. So no, things are pretty quiet given the circumstances, and I may even get some interviews out of this.
Well, keep us posted, and stay out of the weather. Good to hear you found a safe haven in the storm. Unlikely though it seems.
If I can convince one or two of the Maulers to answer a few questions, I'll call in with the live feed. In the meantime, we're just hoping the structure holds up to the winds.
That applies to most places in the city, Clarice. Good luck.
Has constant bombardment got your entire sensory system overloaded? Feel like you need a week in the silence of a hyperbaric chamber to recover? Insight Systems Sensor Restorer will put you back in the driver's seat. Just one treatment a day wipes out that damage the daily barrage leaves behind. Soothes and retunes your sensory organs. Adjusts sensory receptor levels in the brain. Calms and settles sensory nerves. Wrap the Insight Sensor Restore band around your head today. Your senses will thank you.
Since the mid-20s, personal ID systems have been progressively building on traditional RFID long used for tracking animals, cargo, and inventory. But the commonplace standard of today, which uses a combination of subdermal RFID implants and instantaneous DNA scans, still suffers from a reliance on some form of external power and universal database access to achieve positive identification. Jeremy Alcott sent in a report yesterday on this, which has become now more relevant than ever in spite of power stability assurances from Suriston Power Systems.
It was the blackout of 2068 that really prompted renewed active research in this area. Various methods have been tested to try and ensure business, economic transactions and customer identification can continue to be carried out, even in the event of widespread power failure. The newest of these allows devices to draw on the power of the human body. I'm here at the Mobile Emporium in Silverstone Southwest, where this new system is being demonstrated and officially launched. Sir, you are one of the first to actually use this new system. Can you describe to our listeners what you're doing?
Sure I can. I had the new ID Magic chip embedded yesterday, and you can see there's only the slightest of bulges on my wrist. Only about the same size as the mandatory AM receiver on my other wrist. This tag works just like a standard RFID implant, except it doesn't draw external power. I slip my wrist into the ident cuff like this, and the reader is activated by the ID Magic Embo chip. It scans my DNA, then confirms ID, credit, and account data. Like that. Then I can select which fund to draw on, either manually or verbally, or it defaults to cash in 10 seconds. Like that. All logged to Embo chip's own internal database, as well as the main network if it's available. If not, the internal database pushes its new numbers back to the system once the network is online.
And what about security?
It's DNA coded, checked against my own skin DNA. Embo chip and scanned DNA have to match.
So, does the power draw on your body drain your energy?
So far, not in the slightest. I'd probably have to do a 6-hour shopping spree for it to affect me at all. This new system is a breeze.
Well, sir, thanks for demonstrating the new self-powered Embo chip. And I have a feeling there'll be a mad rush on these implants once people find out about them. Everyone's gonna want one. Back to you, Helen.
And perhaps this will be the newest craze, once we make it through our current crisis.
And Kelso has an update for us on the situation in the downtown. And we understand from camera footage that the streets are now mostly deserted due to the wind and the rain. What can you tell us?
I can't speak for the entire downtown, Adam, but everywhere I've been in the past half hour is more or less cleared. Pretty hard to imagine staying out there when you can barely stand. And rest assured, the rain is not just steady. It's like having a continuous series of water buckets tossed in your face. Getting truly wild out there. Even I was glad to finally move inside.
So, where are you now, Anne?
I've done a little research since I followed our little gathering of apostles to the off-world tower here at the base of Harbor Street. Seems the gang's nothing if not well informed. Of all the buildings in this part of the city, this is the one to choose if you've got to ride out a hurricane or a tidal wave. 69 stories, but built like a massive, multi-edged blade in the sky. If the wave comes, no matter which direction, its structure will cleave through the water like the hull of a ship.
Sounds like our friends are not just there by chance.
Adam, they had 2 guards on patrol near the main entrance, so I had to keep my distance and skirt around to the rear. The single guard at that entrance is now unconscious at my feet. I'm heading farther in, to find the nearest staircase. Whatever they're up to here, it's not going to be down at street level, where the entire ocean might come flooding in any time.
Don't you think it would be wise to just find a safe spot on an upper floor and hide out? You're in a dangerous place with all those apostles on site. And they're clearly involved in some scheme or other, perhaps related to the riot. Maybe even the storm. God knows what they'll do if they catch you.
Everything you say is correct, Adam. I'll be relying on stealth and surprise. But I'm here now, and someone has to find out what these maniacs have to do with what Sewerston's facing.
You're broadcasting, Anne. You're on the air. And you just told those guys where you are. This is probably the only channel still broadcasting in AM, within Sewerston. They'll come looking.
And we'll find nothing. At least for the moment.
We'll leave it at that, then. But you're trapped in a building with a gang of fanatics who at the very least will not be pleased to see you. Needless to say, if even one of them is listening, they'll be on heightened alert.
I'm counting on it, Adam. For now, I'm signing off. ditching the cell phone I picked up from my first generous apostle. The batteries are about to die. Got a couple of new ones off our friend here. I'll use one of those for my next update. Sounds like I'll have company soon. AKA out.
This is WRAT AM1700 The RAT.
And here's what's making news in Suiston at 3:30 this afternoon. I'm Lana Zhang.
And I'm Adam Marlborough. Our top story of the day is, of course, the assault on Suiston by Superstorm Zulu 11, which is already causing havoc throughout the Suiston area. For an update on its progress, we go live to Gertrude at WRT's Weather Center.
This is WRAT meteorologist Gertrude Schwager. I am now located at the top of the Suiston Weather Observation Center, 300 meters above the city, and I'm watching this storm of the century roll in from the southeast. For storm enthusiasts, this is the event of a lifetime. I am sure some of these are out there now recording Zulu 11's onslaught, braving wind, rain, and wave in hope of capturing a moment in the spotlight as a result of their footage. Let me warn those few foolhardy, misguided individuals. Your moment of glory, if there is one, will be very brief and will for a certainty have a spectacular ending that you will not be there to enjoy. This storm is on us, and it is already pounding the city with winds and weather beyond anything even Suiston has ever seen. And it is only getting started. Zulu 11 will soon be picking up anything not very securely nailed down and flinging it wherever it feels like it. Cars, buses, planes, trucks, ships are all on the target list. And where these land, of course, there will be more devastation. So I repeat my message of earlier this afternoon. Get to a sealed storm shelter, get there now, and stay there until the all-clear is given. And expect to see a very changed world when you emerge. And as Gertrude says, the destruction has already begun. We are at this moment unable to connect with Rick Allen in Hoverjet 1, but he was last heading out of the city to find a way down to ground level and safety. How bad is the problem for those still in the air? On the line with us from the chaotic skies above Suiston is Alice Travis, who reports that she has just witnessed some incredible mayhem near the X37-X20 interchange. Alice, can you tell our listeners what happened?
It was like this hover lost control completely, totally like spiraling and spinning through all the traffic. And everywhere it went, all the other hovers went crazy, started jerking and twitching. Then he went spinning down too. Everyone was crashing into everybody and pieces of hovers were breaking off in all directions. By the time I lost sight of it, there must have been like hundreds of hovers all smashed up, dropping all down to the hard buffer, just like drifting there, all wrecked and stuff, and broken into pieces like a bunch of space debris.
Alice, how did you manage to avoid all this? It sounds to me like that first hover that went down may have been affecting the power systems of all the hovers in the area to render all guidance and collision avoidance systems so ineffective.
I don't know. I just don't know. Holy shit, it was like really rough up here. We just flew through the interchange when I heard the first crash 3 layers above us. By the time the falling vehicles were down to our layer, we were a good couple of 100 meters further on. Whatever was happening, it didn't reach as far as us.
So where are you now? Shouldn't you be landing to get out of the sky? It's pretty scary up there, even without accidents like the one you just witnessed.
We're like trying to get down, but something really weird is happening to the access ramps. Everyone we tried so far locked us out, won't let us through, like they're all closed or something. Lots of people trying to make it down, but nobody can. We're like trapped up here.
WRAT will get onto the traffic authority right away about that, Alice. Keep trying. Eventually those access points will reactivate. And in the meantime, the very best of luck to you in the skies above Suiston as this storm moves in on us.
Thanks, man. Thanks, lady. Oh, get us out of here. Fast.
And incredibly, amid all the chaos, we still have some sporting events that are making the news. Oliver has an update.
Adam, as we've just heard from Clarice, the Surston Maulers, after their stunning 6-5 victory over the Brutal Bombers earlier this afternoon at Causeway Stadium, have now been recruited into civic duty in this weather crisis. We will await Clarice's further reports on how that area of the city fares as the stadium fans try to find shelter from Zulu 11. And, as earlier reported, the last of our big matches for today just wrapped up a little after 3 p.m., with the Tail Thrashers resounding 102-18 thrashing of the Canton Pyros at our newly opened Underworld Heap Live Fire Arena. John Horton is in the Tail Thrashers dressing room and brings us a report on the scene there. John.
Oliver, down here the storm is not yet dampening spirits, and although Zulu 11 will be sure to put all in a more sober mood soon enough, there is still celebration in the air at the Underworld Heap. I have with me the man who led our Thrashers to victory today, Triage. You must be very proud of what your team was able to accomplish in this inaugural match at the Heap.
Gotta be, John. We hatched our strategy as a team. We executed as a team, and that's what made it work. Thrashers are a well-oiled machine now, John. We take this show on the road, we crush any other team we face.
I understand Banshee is back as captain next week. How will that change your strategy?
She's built into our plans. All the new plays center on me and her. Split squad sync patterns that'll make opponents' heads spin. Other teams beware. Thrashers are out for blood.
Thanks for the confident predictions, Triage. And Banshee, are you on board with this?
We are going to kick ass, and none of our opponents will see it coming. Out of the walls, up from the sewers, wherever you least expect us, we'll be there, sneaking up like rats from the culvert. And wham! You're thrashed.
I think that about sums up the mood here, Oliver. I'll report back later when the euphoria's died down a bit.
Thank you, John. That's it for sports news. Over to you, Helen.
I imagine John is right, that we may see a scene at the Underworld Heap similar to what Clarice is experiencing at Causeway Stadium in the near future. A drastic change in mood.
And we're going back live to Ann Kelso in the heart of the trouble at the Off-World Tower. Ann?
I think I managed to ditch the pursuit for now, down around the 3rd floor. Heading up's not so easy. They have all the door seals shut down. Thankfully, the entrance guard donated his ident chip, and I'm good up to now. I overheard some conversation on the Apostles' short-range radio channel that was important enough to call back in. It seems the Apostles...
Shit, looks like they're onto me again. Call it in. Whoever she is, she took out Conrad. Elsa, you okay? Shoulder. My left arm. Useless.
Can't get through on a dedicated link. Maybe she jammed...
Alex, Joe's down too. See if you can get through the ops. I got this bitch in my sights. Okay, that was close. Almost got me with that grenade. Just managed to get into this office and close the door. This one's a real hard case. Elsa, time for tactics. That blast should have cooked her real good. Alex, what's the word?
Making my way through this office to a side door. That should give me a clear view of Lois from the side and Alex from behind. If it works, should be able to take them both by surprise.
He's got a base unit.
Just stay put. We need to be sure.
Here we go.
Elsa, report. Yeah, Elsa. Report. Lois?
Dead, I'm afraid.
And what the hell happened?
There were 5 of them. That Lois was the leader. She was even wearing body armor. Mercenary, I'm guessing. I snuck around and took her out from the side before she even saw me coming. Got Alex from behind. Elsa was an easy target, deer in the headlights.
Are you sure this is the best thing to do? Take on the whole place by yourself? Those apostles are seriously warped.
Like I was saying when I was so rudely interrupted. Got some news that makes this raid kind of important. Seems the apostles may have somehow been involved in all of this. The riot, the kidnapping, even the weather.
What? Are you sure?
Can't be, not yet. But from their radio chatter, I'd say it's likely. And nobody else is getting this story.
I guess as usual, there's no dissuading you. Watch your back, Anne.
Always. AKA out.